Oh yeah, man, what's going on, man? Now look, man, today's video, bro, I plan on doing like a ranking video of DBZ Kakarot DLCs. And first, let me say this, bro. This is all personal preference. I'm gonna be ranking it from worst to best, and not just that. All of these DLCs were pretty cool and were very, very good, especially the ones coming like up, top, top. Really, really good. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, a solid ass game. If you haven't played it, man. It's an old game. Ain't like a new game and stuff like that, but they did drop a new DLC pretty recent and all. But Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, in my eyes, in my opinion, is like one of my favorite iterations of Dragon Ball Z, period. So, yeah. So for number 6, my least favorite for sure would definitely be Resurrection Frieza, just because it really felt underwhelming as fuck, like the fight and everything. And not just that, I think that Pacific arc I just don't really vibe with. I don't really mess with. Like the anime I did not like. I didn't like how Super did Resurrection Frieza. Just like it felt all like so long and just so dragged out. And not just that, I mean, like I spent the whole bit of that DLC grinding and training just to get into the main DLC Frieza. He was a level 150, my nigga. I was a level like 260 or 70 and stuff like that. I mean, like that fight legit was nothing. It was not competitive at the slightest. It just got boring at a point. It just got boring. And granted, like after the main story of the DLC, whatever, the main convoluted story, you do get to fight an optional Frieza, which is like a level 250, just like Beerus in the first one at the exact same time. It's not hard. It still felt underwhelming, and it still felt fucking boring. So no. And the movie version was okay. In the game was a little bit better, but again, I guess I'm just not a fan of that Golden Frieza. I'm not really a fan of that arc. I'm really, really not. My number 4, oh my fault, my number 5 pick. My number 5 pick would be Bardock Alone Against Fate. Like, the story of Bardock, like, it's like, I already know what the hell is going to happen because I played Dragon Ball Ultimate Tenkai. Not just that, I'm familiar with the Z story, so I already know about Bardock. Well, not too much, but I know a bit about Bardock. One thing I really can appreciate about that DLC with Bardock is that it gave me some more insight that I wasn't aware of. Apparently, they had a movie a long time ago, back in the 90s, of Bardock and all that, and I did not know shit about that. Got more in his story and anything like that, which I do appreciate. But again, it just kind of felt boring. Like I had times like in that DLC where I just lost, where I just zoned out. Like, and that's never really a good thing. Like I just had parts like I just zoned out and stuff like that. And I mean, it was cool. It was cool. The sub story with Prince Vegeta was cool too. But comparing like to other sub stories coming up, it was not that good. It just wasn't. It wasn't like that for me. Like to where I would put it in a higher tier. So yeah. Number 4, I would have A New Power Awakens Part 1. The first one with Beerus and Whis. And the reason why it's really like that, because it's so simple and it's extremely short. Like, ain't much to do. The only shit you can really do in there is just train with Whis until you get to a certain point. I think you have the Lemon Breaker training, and you have the main DLC story training as well and shit like that. And then you get to a certain part where you get to fight Beerus, I think level 200, and then after that, I think with Goku and Vegeta, and then after that you hit the end game, you unlock Super Saiyan God, and then after the end game, I think you get the option to fight Beerus level 250, which was fucking hard, extremely hard by the way. Like the reason, like Beerus compared to Frieza was so much better because like his shit felt challenging, like it felt fucking, and it's crazy because they both were the same levels, but yeah, Beerus felt more challenging. Maybe because prior to that, I've already had experience with Frieza before that in the main story. I haven't played that main story in a while, but maybe that might be why it felt how I felt like in the part 2 version and shit like that. But even though it was so short, it was so simple, I really had a blast. I had a fun time doing it. I had a fun time recording. I had a fun time pumping them out. Well, I had a fun time with all of these, but I really had a fun time with that, because that was like the first and shit like that. So, yeah, I mean, I'll put it number 4, respectfully. Number 3, I would say Goku's New Journey, the one with Oob, the more recent DLC 6 that just came out and stuff like that. Like it was cool, and it was cool and stuff like that, but just compared to my next 2, it's just the story wise, it's not my interest. I'm just not really too interested of that specific point of Dragon Ball Z. That point of Goku next journey or new journey, whatever it's called, that would be like the NMC saga and stuff like that. And it was okay and stuff like that, with Oop and shit, but it just wasn't, I wasn't too much of a fan of it. I do appreciate that how they added the ground and the air, the original like fighting mechanic like on Kakarot. I like how they added like both in the mix, because the thing with the last one before that is just it only had the ground battles and stuff like that, which I fuck with the ground battles, like all that, like I fuck with all of that shit like that. But again, the DLC itself, it was okay. And the reason why, the biggest reason why it's so high was that sub story. I mean, boy, let me tell you, I gotta play that shit, bro. With fucking Prince Vegeta versus Goku. I mean, that is some of the best media, like best anime media game in the game I've ever seen in my fucking life. Like that is so, like that's damn near Ninja Storm 4 kind of levels. That's how good that was. That's hitting like Ninja Storm 4 kind of levels, bro. So that's like probably like the main biggest reason why it's so high. Other than that, yeah, definitely number three. Number three for sure. Number two, I would say Trunks, The Last Hope, or Warriors, The Last Hope. Trunks, bro. The story, I really fuck with the story, man. With freaking Gohan and Trunks in the alternate universe, future Trunks. You know, as much as I've seen future Trunks, I've never really understood. I never really like got like story of his. I never really had none of that until that DLC. And I fucking loved it, bro. I love how they did. I love how we got to go in the past, not the past. Well, yeah, technically the past, and got to see Vegeta and Goku, the crew and everything. I like the time he spent with Vegeta for a little bit, talking with his father. Vegeta give him some fatherly advice. Funny enough, Vegeta might be like the second best father in a goddamn whole show, series, game, whatever. I don't give a fuck what you say. I had a blast, bro. I really, really did. And stuff, man. And it was sad. Like I was legit like almost in tears what happened to Gohan and everything. And not to mention the sub story when like they pretty much like twisted it to where like in the Buu saga how it was Gohan was the one that got the Z sword and everything. And that alternate universe in that DLC, it was Trunks that actually got it. And I really like how they did with, you know, like with Buu, well not Buu exactly, but with Babidi and shit like that. Fuck Babidi. I really had a blast with this trailer, with this DLC. I can't talk right now. I really had a blast, bro. And I guess my biggest like pet peeve in the DLC is probably having to fight the androids like over and over like so much to the point I got tired of them. Like I got tired of them like quickly, like quick. Maybe like the second battle I had to fight them because like yeah, like I got tired of them bitches. So that, you know, that, and not just that, just I feel like the next one coming up, it hits so much more, and not just that, the new mechanic introduced and just all kinds of different things. I think that's why, you know, I got it number two and not number one. But yeah, that's probably my biggest pet peeve. Other than that, yeah, it's fucking fun. Like a good ass DLC. Really, really, really good. Now for my number one pick, man. Shit. At this point, I think y'all know what it is, bro. DLC 5, the 23rd World Tournament. Boy, I love that DLC, man. I mean, like, that was the first DLC, or that was the DLC that introduced the new fighting mechanic with the ground battle and shit like that, but we got to fight Giant Jr. Like, that really, like, that was some crazy shit. That was some retcon. Like, it reminded me back on Ultimate Tenkai. And if y'all ever played Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkai, y'all get what I'm trying to say. I mean, it brought back some fucking memories, man. But I really, like I said, and I never watched Dragon Ball a day in my life, so watching that really like helped me understand and help me like develop some kind of sense to that, you know, to that series, the original. Because if it was for Dragon Ball, there would not be no Super, there would not be no fucking GT, there would not be no Kai, there would not be no Z. There would not be none of that if it was not for the original and stuff like that. And I really appreciate that. Not just that, the story, I mean, they had a lot of funny, cool moments. We got to meet Chi-Chi for the first time. Yamcha got his ass whooped. I mean, that DLC was fucking fire. It was extremely fire. I mean, for Fuego. That was like my favorite. That's my favorite. That is legit my favorite. That's why I got on number one, huh? Huh? That's my fucking favorite. Like, I love that DLC, man. I really, really, really do. And then the flashbacks, like I said, I learned a lot from that DLC, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate all of this. I appreciate the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, even though this ain't no sponsorship. But either way, regardless, I'm always gonna keep praising this game, bro. This game is like one of the best of modern day. I fuck with this game. And yeah, that's pretty much my rankings, man. So number one, I got the 23rd World Tournament arc. Number two, I have Trunks. Number three, I got Goku Next Journey. Number four, I have A New Power Awakens Part 1 with Beerus. Number 5, I have Bardock alone against Fate. And number 6, I have a new Power Wickets Part 2 with Frieza. But other than that, I love y'all boys. Take care of yourselves, man. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thank y'all so much for the amount of love and support that y'all shown within the series. The series is done. It's over, though. But again, I love y'all, man. Can't wait for Sparkling Zero to come out, because when that game do come out, best believe we're going to be fucking on it. Who knows, we might stream. But on that, I love y'all. Peace.